welcome back to another episode of Professional Spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us. I am Jesse Bayer of Abundant Living Ecuador. We are a real estate and development company located in the Vilcabamba, Loja region of Southern Ecuador. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited today. I have a guest that's going to share a lot of great knowledge. She has a lot of experience. I'm joined today by Marila. That is a tough one for me. Marila Reyes Moreno. Reyes Moreno. She is an architect. She's a businesswoman. She runs an Airbnb business. Her and her family have a construction and tourism company as well. She's doing a really cool project up in Baños. She's originally from Loja, so she's going to have a lot of insights today on tourism, on business, on construction, on all things Ecuador and Loja related. So really excited to be joined by her today. Marila, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jesse. I'm so happy to be here in your channel, and I'm happy to share with you here with all your subscribers.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's start a little bit just with getting to know you a little bit. So you're originally from Loja, that's correct?
Yeah, that's
And
true. I'm from Loja. I'm Lojana.
yeah, and that's something people take pride in Loja. No, what's it like? What's it like growing up in Loja and being from Loja?
Okay, being from Loja means brings being strong. Also, if you're a woman, because it's a very little city, but I think it has a lot of possibilities to grow, and it's it's a little city outside all the big cities of Ecuador, and that's why it's difficult to go out from Loja to um, launch in other city. But I think it's possible, and I think also Loja has the better climate in Ecuador, one of the best.
Yeah, it's a very temperate climate for sure. I don't think people realize how cold some of the other cities of the Sierra are in the mountains. Loja is, one of the little bit lower elevation cities compared to places like Cuenca and Quito and Riobamba and so forth.
Yeah, I think the same, and also little countries or towns like Vilcabamba has the best climate. I think better than Loja.
Yeah, for sure. This
You
is
know
this.
more. You know more about that than me.
Yeah. Well, this is probably not, but this is Vilcabamba behind me. So for everybody watching. All right, cool. And then you went to school for architecture. Did you do that in Loja or did you go somewhere else for your education?
Yeah, I studied in Loja like 4 years, but also I studied in Mexico in WAP in a city called Puebla, and it changed my life when I was there because I understand about the entrepreneurship, and also I learn a lot about tourism. Then I studied in Spain in Complutense University for a summer program. So then I returned to Ecuador and I launch. Now I am launching my first glamping hotel. So that's the countries I have studied.
Yeah. No, it's interesting that you had to go out of the country to really learn entrepreneurship. I mean, there is entrepreneurship in Ecuador. There is a something of an entrepreneurial culture, but compared to other places, I think it's very much almost a new phenomenon, really, to be,
Yeah.
to be an entrepreneur in Ecuador. And I think it's really cool, especially as a foreigner, or I think a lot of times for Ecuadorians who go elsewhere and then come back, there's a lot of opportunity here, that I think aren't necessarily always being taken advantage of because it's a very traditional country. Some of the history, which we won't get into now, but some of the history, sort of changes the mindset a bit of people. And so it's interesting that you went to Mexico and then Spain and kind of came back with that entrepreneurial understanding.
Yeah, I think Ecuador is a super traditional country, but it is also good, as you say, because of the possibilities, and also because the quality life. I think because the climate, because the natural food, because we are in the middle of the world, and also we have beautiful landscapes. Not just Galapagos. I know Galapagos is our pearl here in Ecuador, but there are also volcano landscapes in all the mountain region, and also beautiful beaches of the coast, and the Amazon region, exuberant vegetation. So I think for real estate and also for tourists, there are a lot of possibilities here because all these characteristics. And about the climate, I want to say that we are always in spring, so we don't have like too much difficulties because the climate to live happy.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, there's no winter. I mean, it's really amazing. There's almost limitless. It's not a huge country, right? It's for comparison, it's the size of Colorado landmass wise. Um, but there's almost unlimited amount of things and areas and places to discover. I've lived here 9 years. There's plenty of places in the country I have never been. There's plenty of things I'm discovering new all the time. Half the country is the Amazon, only a fraction of that anyone's been probably, right? Then you
Yeah.
have you have the whole coastal region, you have the mountains and all the little nooks and crannies and different climates and so on and so forth. It's really almost endless, the amount of different worlds and microclimates and just new sort of nature adventures, kind of nature based adventures, or if you're looking at it from a business development standpoint as well, areas that offer themselves to X, Y, or Z activity, X, Y, or Z sort of business. It's really a fascinating country in that way.
Yeah, I think the same. There are beautiful landscapes, and you don't have anything around this. You don't have like houses or hotels or something like that. And a lot of people don't know how rich we are as Ecuadorian. But I think we have some companies as mine who are looking for sharing with foreign people these beautiful characteristics of Ecuador.
Yeah. What are, just out of curiosity, what are some of your favorite parts of Ecuador? Where would you, when you get a chance to go, maybe on vacation or just to visit or just to explore, where do you like to go?
Okay, I love traveling. Uh, I love to travel a lot. And I don't have a favorite part because as much as I travel, I fall in love more with my country. And I think I have favorite parts, like maybe Los Frailes is a very beautiful beach here in the continental area, but also volcanoes are so beautiful. So I don't know what is my favorite, but I am living now very happy here in Baños de Agua Santa, and I think it's one of the best cities in Ecuador because it's the gateway to the Amazon region, and you have everything. You have cascades, you have mountains, you have extreme sports, you have also delicious food and a lot of volcanoes. So I'm so happy living in Baños, and I think it has been one of the best decision I have made in my life.
So before we jump into, your current project, um, are you a practicing architect currently? Like, are you designing things for clients, or are you just using your skills for your own projects?
I used to make projects for other people until 2021, I think, or 20. But now I'm just working for my own company. I have a team of 6 architects. So we are making some projects for my family company now because
Right.
it's a little difficult. I don't know how it's in other countries working as an architect, but in Ecuador it's like a little difficult because some people don't understand your crazy ideas or maybe your sustainable projects. So I think I have to work my own projects first if I want to have then people who understand me in my projects.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, that's very cool. It's fun being a trailblazer in Ecuador, for sure. Um, okay, so you're doing that mostly in-house now. You've got a team there for your business, and then you're also doing some Airbnb stuff. What's that business like in Ecuador?
Yeah, I started in 2018 with my first suite in Airbnb, and it was because I returned from Mexico and I wanna make something for tourists as I learned there. So I started with the apartment in Loja, and then I don't know how to say remodelar.
Yeah,
Um,
remodel, or
yeah, I remodel.
renovate or remodel.
Yeah, I remodel a suite and then a cabin that you know now you visited. So Airbnb in Ecuador, I think it's a good business because um, we don't have too much good service here. But if you understand good service for tourists, it's easy to work with Airbnb. And I have also worked with other platforms, but I think the best it's Airbnb.
Yeah. And so are you doing that mostly in this area or other places as well?
Now I have my Airbnb apartments or suites in Loja and Vilcabamba, and now I am working my first hotel in Baños. So, but with this hotel, I we know that we have to work with a lot of platforms and a lot of tourism providers. I think not just Airbnb, but
Sure.
I think it's my fortaleza now.
Hmm.
Yes.
Your strength. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And so let's talk a little bit about what you guys do. So you do the Airbnb stuff, but let's jump into some of the projects. Obviously, you mentioned you got a 6-person team under you, as architects. So obviously, you're designing a lot of different things. Talk a little bit
Yeah.
about the projects, I should say, and anything you want to share on that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I want to share to you some pictures to explain more how is the place where we decided to work. Okay, but I can't share now. I don't know why.
Okay, if you want to talk for a second, I'll make sure that or
Okay.
I'll babble for a minute, but I'll make or go ahead. Yeah, I'll just make sure the settings are right. In fact, don't even worry. We can just edit this right out. Let me see if let me
Okay.
see.
As I said recently,
Well,
inside the mountains, there is a wonderful place called Baños de Agua Santa, and it is the gateway to the Amazon region. There are only, I think, 30,000 inhabitants, but there is 1 million tourists a year there. So it's a very important city here in Ecuador for tourists. And this is what I want to share to you. I don't know if you can see now my screen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is Baños de Agua Santa, and this is a floating city inside the mountains. So it's very crazy living there because when you go to the mountain area of Baños, you see all the city floating from a river. So it's so beautiful to see this. And okay,
What
I
what do you what do
have,
you what do you mean by floating city? What does that mean? I mean, I understand the
yeah,
words, of course, but what explain?
okay, I mean that this is like rock wall here
Mhm.
behind the city, and behind like I don't know, maybe like um 300 meters you have a river. So you look the city always like floating because it is supported in rock base.
Okay.
So there's a lot of rock. Okay, so here there are some cascades there, a lot of
Waterfalls.
cascades, I think. Yeah, waterfalls. And then you have the volcano, Tunguragua volcano, that is so beautiful. And sometimes you see this beautiful picture, and you see all the nieve, yellow
Yeah, the
there.
ice and snow. Yeah.
Yeah, you see all the snow there. So you feel like someone is taking care of you, and it's the volcano.
But Baño, so
Yeah, and
you can see the ice-capped volcano, the snow-capped volcano. However, Baños is pretty warm, correct?
yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty warm like Vilcabamba. I think it's the same climate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe a little
and
more humid, just probably, but yeah.
yeah, yeah, maybe a little more. And then that's me and me there in Baños. So you can make a lot of things there. Here is the I think one of the most important forests behind in the Columpio, and it's a very important place in Baños called Casa del Árbol. And I know that this photo in I think 2010 won the best photo of National Geographic. Not mine, but a similar one
Hmm.
from someone playing in the Columbia. So it's beautiful. And then I have my project here, as I said, because there are just 30,000 inhabitants here, but 1 million tourists visit it. And they come from everywhere. They come from USA, they come from Canada, they come from Europe countries and from everywhere because of these exuberant places to visit and extreme sports to make also here in Baños. And one of the reasons is also because it's the gateway to the Amazon region. So it's like between Amazon region and between Sierra in Ecuador. So I have my project that is this. The concept it's like a floating suite, and it is floating from the structure. So it is inside all the vegetation, and we wanted to combine luxury, nature, architecture inside the mountains. So it's a place where you can have the best service, but inside the mountains and with the best view to the city. So this is my project, and we are now in I think the 70% of building of construction. So we think in July we are gonna launch finally our first hotel. And
Wow.
I think that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely stunning photos. It's a great idea. So are people going to be, and you'll market this, I assume, on all the normal places, the websites, probably Airbnb also. It'll be sort of a short-term stay type deal.
Yeah, we're gonna have a web or own work website. Also, we're gonna work with Airbnb. Now we're working with social media like Instagram and Facebook. So you can search us on Instagram like Lamping Deluxe. It's the name of our hotel.
Okay. And so when this launches, and will you run it or will you move on to the next project?
When we are gonna final this, or I didn't understand you well
When
your
Sure.
question.
Once this is completed construction and it's operational, will you stay there and run this hotel, or will you move on to other projects?
No, I'm gonna managing this for 1 year, I think, and when it is running and working so well with the team that I have to also create for the administration, then we are gonna make other projects. It's the way we think it has to work.
Yeah. What is it like finding good quality labor, employees, people to work in Ecuador? You mentioned you have to build out the administrative team or the hotel management team, etc. That's been interesting for us over the years. We've gotten better at it, certainly, and I actually think there's a lot of good talent in this country. A lot, in fact, I think there's a lot of underutilized talent and professionals as well. But it's a very different mindset. It's a very different sort of style, I think, than what I was used to, how you go about managing people because of the culture and all that. But what is your experiences, finding good people to work here?
Okay. I think it's a bit difficult because there is a lot of talent, but as you say, a lot of people don't know how talent they are. So now we are working a lot with two groups of people, if I can say it like this. First, the community people. So we um, teach to the community how to work, how to build, how to make the things. And we have like 15 people there working from the community, but also we have professional people from Cuenca, from Quito, and yeah, and from Loja, because we have people from there. But they are professional people who teach to the community people how to make things. So this is very new for the place where we are working, because they didn't know a lot of things that we are making now. And for the administration, it's the same. I have to contact professional people who know a lot of about administration, but also community people who want to learn about how to talk with guests and how to vote and how to make correct things.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a great model. And by community people, you just mean, of course, local.
But this is
Oh, sorry. I think there was a cutout there in the internet. Please continue.
no, you continue.
Sure. So I was just saying, yeah, that's a great model. That's a smart way to go about it. So when you say the community, you mean the local labor force, correct? People who you've hired who live there locally.
Okay, I don't understand. Okay, well, your questions
Sure. You
about
were
this.
you were saying community people, and I'm just clarifying. You mean the local labor force, the local workers, the people who work for you who are from that area.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they are from the area. It's a bit difficult to work like this, but it's a correct way, I think, because here in Ecuador we don't have like some companies who administrate your hotel and then you go to other project and then build other project and just you manage the construction, the building, and then you operate with other people. I think this is a model that you can make in other country, but here no. So we have to know and pivot a lot. We also work a lot with MVPs to know how is the correct form to work with people. But community people, I think is they are very kind. They are very good people. Um, and they wanna learn a lot. And I think the group who wanna learn more are female group because they didn't have like a lot of opportunities in her lives. So I love working with women because of that. Mm.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because I think you hit on something that, I've discovered over and over again in the different businesses that we run, which is that the culture tends to be fantastic, right? They're kind, they're nice, they're generous, they're giving. They're not angry. People in Ecuador are very much go with the flow. They take what comes. Back home we're all stressed out and angry, and we if things don't go the way we want, we're getting all upset and things like that. People here kind of take it, they take it as it is, they take what comes. And then, yeah, the other side of that is in outside of, maybe Quito, Manta, Guayaquil, maybe Cuenca, outside of those markets, things are pretty much the way they've been here probably for a really long time. So you don't have that sort of business expertise. You don't have that customer service. You don't have certain things that are there. And so bridging those gaps which is what you're doing. I think that's a great model that you're using to bring in people from other places to then teach the local labor force sort of the way to go about things. But it's really an interesting dynamic here. I think it's fun sometimes to sort of go through those processes, can be challenging also. um, and then the other piece there too is because of that, right? There's just so many opportunities in all these areas. Most of the country, at least geographically, right? Most of the country, there's not a ton of economic activity. A lot of these towns, like in Baños, you have a lot of tourism, you have a lot of adventure sports, and you have different tourist activities and things like that. But in most places, you sort of have small scale agriculture, and then a little bit of a few professionals, a little bit of the trades, and not much else. And so for somebody like yourself, for myself, for other people who are interested, you can really go into these places, provide a great, create a great business, provide lots of employment and opportunities for the people in the area. And then of course also have a very willing and sort of very willing labor force that's grateful for the work and happy to learn, sort of as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think it's so beautiful to work with communities. In Baños, we are not in the center or in the middle of Baños. We are like 10 minutes away from Baños in a community called Iluchi. So people there is so different from people in Baños City. Um, how can I say this? I'm so happy because I didn't know that some things will happen. Like they love that I teach them a lot of technology, so they are so happy to know some things about WhatsApp or about Google or about how to make some things easier. but maybe there are things for me that are naturally or are super common, but for them no. But they have a very good knowledge about nature, about animals, about the vegetation there, about a lot of things that we don't know about the vegetation of Ecuador. For example, they are experts in orchideas types, and that's I was like very surprised to know that. So we are learning. I learn from them, and they learn from me, and that's I think one, not just the one of the objectives of this project. I think it's one of the objectives of life.
Sorry, I muted out there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's always been something that I've been really impressed with too. We do agricultural projects, and so we're always having to solve problems with the land, with nature, and the ingenuity is really impressive. The local knowledge, the
Yeah.
ability the ability to solve problems. You'll it's common in Ecuador, for example, maybe not amongst the upper classes, but at least amongst the middle and lower classes, to have a pretty good sort of working knowledge of plant life, medicinal plants. The women will go out and cut herbs and cure you of things, pretty commonly. There's all those that sort of, ancient medicinal knowledge and the agricultural knowledge, and sort of what I would describe, I don't think you'll know this reference, but what I would describe, everybody here is a MacGyver, which was a show in this,
Yeah.
that, yeah. So, people here really know how to fix things, solve things, and and always sort of in the most efficient, least expensive way, which coming from a place where, everything's very regulated and everything's very by the book and you just pay for everything, it's refreshing. It's really fun to kind of operate in a culture like that. I don't know if you have a comment on that. If not, is there anything else that, Marila, that I haven't hit on that you wanna touch on before we wrap up? As I have
No.
a rooster here.
Yeah, I listen it. No, I just want to thank for all my team. I think we are a little crazy team here in Ecuador because we're trying to make things different, to like to build with a very advanced technology, but also with community people, and combine these two very different worlds. But I think we have make it, and we are making it. So I want to thank all my team and all my family who is supporting my project, our project. And also I hope all a lot of your subscribers maybe visit me in Glamping Deluxe on July or August or when they want.
Yeah, well, I can almost, as long as the tourism industry stays stays in good shape, which it's been, increasing in Ecuador for years. The trends there are very good. This will be a very successful project, in my opinion. There's just very few things like this in Ecuador. It looks absolutely beautiful. The renderings and the photos are stunning. So certainly we wish you all of the success. Deluxecamping.com, is that the website?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, the website is glampingdeluxe.com.
Glamping
And
Deluxe.
also in Instagram, we are like Glamping Deluxe, and on Facebook as well, Glamping Deluxe.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time. I hope that we find a way to work together in the future because yeah, there isn't all that many really creative, forward-thinking people doing all this cool stuff. So really fun for me to connect with you and to chat. And again, this is Jesse Bear, Abundant Living Ecuador, real estate and development in Southern region. Marila, thanks so much for your time. Have a great day, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Bye.